Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me know if you're able to hear me okay. Trying this with my headphones on. We'll see if this works. But we're currently en route. We're en route to the show. And tomorrow morning, well, I should say tomorrow at noon, we got a class. It'll be 3 hours. It's not too late to sign up. If you haven't, you can sign up. There's a link to it on one of my previous videos. You can see it at the Orlando Premiere actual website. If I wasn't driving, I would have thought better. I would have put it in the link in the description. Maybe somebody can actually do that for me once we get some people up in here. But I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about the class, a little bit about the show, what's going on, what the deals are looking like. And, I really hope to see you guys out here because this is one of the most fun shows on the circuit. I've been to quite a few this year. And this one's, this one in Orlando Premiere, it's just a whole different type of thing. So I think anybody coming out here is really going to enjoy it. Y'all check it out. I'm going over some like bridge or something. Bang. We going up. We going on up. But yeah, man, I just decided I'd jump on here, do a live with you guys. Let me know where you're tapping in from. Let me know if you guys entered the giveaway for a chance to win. For a chance to win that clipper and trimmer combo to Super Flex. If y'all are keeping up on it, appreciate y'all. What up, Neil? Thank you guys for joining. So yeah, man, I'm on my way to Orlando Premiere show. Tap in if you're going. Or tap in and let me know what was the last show that you got. Man, my hair looks crazy. I'll tell you guys a funny story here in a second. Tap in where you from and tap in what was the last show you went to. All right. I was driving. I've been on the road since like 3 o'clock, but I'm not going to lie, y'all. I passed by a golf course. It was like calling my name. So I went and I played on my way up there. I just had to stop and do it. And I think I made pretty good time because it looks like it's about to start raining. But tomorrow, there's not a. I don't think this is going to be like a giant group. I think there's probably somewhere around maybe 20 people signed up. We have room for more. If you guys are interested, 3 hour hands-on. You'll get mannequins provided. Gonna get some products. And I just figured like I'll go through the flow of what the class is going to look like. You're going to start out with a long mannequin. We're going to go through a clipper over comb portion of the class. I'll let you guys get some hands-on experience with some of the newest, latest and greatest clippers and products. Hey, what up, Rusty? What up, Rusty? Thanks for jumping in here, man. A lot of y'all jumping into lives lately, and I do appreciate it, man. We've been working super hard. YouTube is loving the shorts, man, and I think shorts are like a cheap-ass cop-out. I really like making longer form content, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. I think I've been making a little bit of a mistake lately because I looked at my performance last week. I just didn't get a lot done because I am obsessing over perfection again. And if that's something that you guys kind of succumb to, like I look at a video, I'm like, yo, the video's never good enough. Like I need to work harder on the audio. I got to get more of this. I got to get more of that. And sometimes I think I could beat myself up about it where I see like a lot of other people just kind of throwing stuff out there. And I guess it's like the artist in me just won't let me just post it like faster. So next week, I'm going to try to overcome that challenge. And if any of you guys are struggling with anything like this, let me know. Also, I thought it might be fun. Tap in the comments, man, what y'all think about the Trump conviction. Just curious. Want to get a little litmus test out here. We've been talking about this all day at the barbershop. We definitely would have been sued like 5 times for the vernacular that was talked about in the barbershop. And it was honestly, all in all, a really busy day, man. I got to the shop at 5 a.m. And, tonight, drive over to Orlando and played golf. I'm really filling up my days. I know my nana would tell me I need to slow down. I need to chill out, but that's just not who I am, man. I think about like my uncle who's no longer here with us. His life was tragically cut short. But I'm telling you something, man. He lived his life and he got out and he just did a ton of stuff all the time. He was never afraid to just jump in a car and drive 5 states away and just do something crazy. And he did stuff like this all the time. And, you know, all the time when I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I think about that. I think about him. I think about how, yeah, his life got cut short, but man, did he live it. And if there's anybody out there that is just sitting back, kind of watching your life go by, not really taking these opportunities that are present out here, such as the shows, the education. I had a client yesterday who was like, so how do you like keep up on all the new trends and stuff like that? And I was just explaining to him that, like, me personally, I'm able to spot a lot of these trends and a lot of these things early, through a couple different ways, but social media being one way, but really being at the shows and hearing what other people say on stage and what they do, and joining the classrooms and putting together all this curriculum for you guys. I can't tell you guys enough how much I've learned just this year. This year alone, I've done something like 6 or 7 events, shows, seminars, education, you know, things like that. And it's just been dope. So tap it in the comments, man. Are you guys able to hear me? Everything's good. I don't see no comments dropping here. I asked you guys a couple questions. Let's go. Come on, it's 50. There was 80 of you guys up in here. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Tell me what you guys think about all this. What was the last show you went to? Or if you haven't went to a show, drop that in a comment and give me an excuse why. Because I think it could be so easy for us to make those excuses. Like, for instance, I'm driving up here. I've been really trying to reach a certain goal that I set. And I don't know if it's my OCD or what it is, but I will stop at nothing until I accomplish these things. And also, want to tell you about something too. When I finally decided to buy my own barbershop, it was kind of some funny things. Like, I was making some excuses as to why I couldn't buy one at the time. I had a lot of financial difficulties. I had, basically, we could just say that this was probably the worst possible time in my life to try to open something. And there was people that were close to me that were trying to tell me, like, hey, you know, 80% of businesses fail, all these other things, you know, filling you with all that negativity. This could have been my opportunity to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'll just give up right here. I could have used that as that excuse. I could have just said, yeah, you know what? I give up. I'll quit right here. But, you know, inside of me, and I don't know how you guys tick or what you guys think, but I just thought, yeah, that's for other people. Other people fail. That's not me. I was 100% a believer in myself and still am. And that's why I continue to push myself out of my comfort zone, go and do things like this. And, you know, it could be easy to stay home on the couch. I could have just been relaxing tonight. I could have went to shop, just cut hair tomorrow, made a little money there. I would have been fine, right? But I want better. And I want better for you guys too. I want you guys to try to dig down and try to get yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. Get into some situations. I talked a couple of shorts this week. One of the last shorts I had was about barber suites. I think a barber suite in general for most people is probably not the right move. Although before I go down that road and give you the reasons why, I'll tell you this. There's only one reason why a person should probably get into a barber suite. And that one reason would be, if you're serious about content, you want to be able to control your space, control that audio. If you want to be able to control all those things and you're serious about shooting content, then a suite is definitely a good move. I got nothing to say bad about that if that's what you're up to. But if you're a newer barber and you're going to go it alone and you're going to go to the suites, you're really setting yourself up for you're really setting yourself up for problems. One would be, it's going to be difficult for you to advertise yourself. Two would be, it's going to be difficult for you to grow your skills. You're not going to be motivated the way you would be. If you were working with me, I'm going to push on you, right? I'm going to try. If you come to me and you work and you're just like minding your own business, I'm not going to bother you. But if you come to me and you're like, hey, you know, how can I get a little better at this? Like, how did you overcome this challenge? Like, Believe me, I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna get behind you. I'm gonna push you, and we're gonna move forward together. And don't think for 1 second that I don't think that I got something to maybe learn from you too, because I've learned a lot from all of you guys. So it's gonna be, if you're gonna just be at the show and you're not coming to the class, it's gonna be me, Taylor Cuts, Victorino. We got the we got a full cast. Prince the Fit Barber. We got a lot of people going up there, man. This squad it's gonna be fun. Yo, I love Waze. Waze be pointing out where all the cops be hiding. Be pointing out the hazards in the road. There's definitely something in the road. I almost just got hit by a Kia, whatever the hell. Wouldn't have worked out too good for her because the bumper on my truck weighs like 400 pounds. It's just a mere physics, man. She almost ran into me like on purpose. And that's why I got the dash cams rolling, man. What up, Ivy Mac? Ivy Mac up in the house, bro. Good to see you, man. Thank you, Rice. Appreciate that. And but y'all, nobody answered, man. Tap in. What's the last show y'all went to? When's the last time you went to a show or did something to try to pull yourself out of the minutia of just like the Groundhog's Day thing, man? Every day you wake up, you go to the shop, do the same thing, go home. That's Groundhog's Day. We got to do something to elevate the experience. And if you guys don't follow my guys in the house, we got Rusty Blades in the house. He's got the channel. He's been working hard. Ivy Mac Talks. He's got the channel. Let's go. Neil taps in. He says he's never been to a show. Hopefully this is enough to inspire you to go to the show. Caleb said the premier Columbus, Ohio show. Oh, that should be a good show too. That's probably a good show too. It was a couple other educators that covered that one. But who knows? Maybe I'll wind up doing that one. But next other couple big ones coming down is, well, Premier Orlando is probably one of the biggest. Chicago's ABS already happened. We have Las Vegas Barber Expo. I don't know if I'll be at that, but I'm telling you what, CT Barber Expo and the expos, Jay Majors puts on. I have never in my life would have imagined that a show could be like that. Like that show was built by a barber for barbers, highly entertaining. And I don't even know how culturally that was built. And I just mean like the culture of the CT Barber Expo is to shake hands, talk to people, network. Everybody is just so friendly. And, you know, I mean, you can't really teach people how to behave like that. That's just a group of really mature professionals that are just networking and vibing with one another. And that is an experience that I will never forget. Rusty says we got to make it happen in Orlando, man. You know we do, bro. We do. We got to make it happen up here. We're one of these times we got to get you over to the state. Await says, sir, I'm from Pakistan, and he says I wanna work with you. I'm a barber and I want to work with you. Come on, man, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask you this: is your shop in Pakistan? How many chairs are in it? Yo, describe to me what it's like a day of work with you. What type of services do you have on the menu? How much does it cost? I don't know if you know, like how much, just so we can understand, like how much does it cost in like American money? If you know the rates, I'd be curious to know that. I'd definitely be curious to know that. So right now I got about 2 hours and 26 minutes of driving ahead of me. It's pouring rain, but yo, I don't know if y'all know about the Rain X, but check this out. I don't even have my windshield wipers on. I can see like crystal clear. It's more clear than it looks, but this ain't no thing. That's why I love driving the truck, man. I love driving the truck. My truck was in the shop for a little bit, and I had to drive a car. Boy, it's not my style, man. We're talking about big pickup trucks in Florida. We them Florida boys out here. He said I watched Wavy Kid at the CT Barber Expo. It was great watching him work the circuit. Yeah, man, it was. That's what I'm saying, dude. There were so many cool people there. It was such a blast. And You know, when you get right down to it, realistically, that's where it all kind of started for me. Like, I met a lot of companies there. I started getting people to send me stuff. I would say that that really was the start of a lot of good things. My relationship with Stylecraft began right here at this show at Orlando Premiere, and for that one, I'm really grateful for that one because you know that's changed my life and allowed me to get out and do a lot of the stuff that I always dreamed about doing. I mean, think about it, y'all. I created the 6 phases cosmetology crossover class, clipper over comb class 101. Those are my classes. I created those years ago before I ever met with Stylecraft, before anything. And because of them, I now have other educators out teaching those classes. And you have no idea how that makes me feel, like how grateful I am towards them and the education and education team that we're building. I got to be a big part of building that. The curriculums, the people, everything. And between you and me, we're working on the next revolution, the next evolution of what that's going to look like, how we're going to pick people, who we're going to get down with, and everything like that. So y'all need to stay tuned for that. We got a little housekeeping to do with the people we currently have, but once we sort everything out, we're gonna be expanding that education team to meet the needs of this crazy thing. I'm flying to Austin, Texas next week. Also, I don't know if anybody in here is tapping in from Austin, Texas, or Texas in general, but I'll be tapping in over there. There's it's a show. It's like a business to business show. I just got to show up and talk for a little while. And Neil says, Eddie, you got people logging in from all over the world. Let's go. Hello from South Africa. What up, Sully? Appreciate you, man, for tapping in. We really do got people from all over the world, and that's the beauty of this YouTube, man. Hey, from Austin, come on, man. Jose the Barber, man. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, bro. Leave a comment where you're at in the bottom of this video, and maybe I can link up with you. Stop by your shop, maybe drop off a little care package, something like that. We want to do good in the community, man. We want to do good. So if I can do something like that, if I have the time, that might be pretty dope. So anyhow, moving forward here, I still have not. I got one person sending me a tutorial right now. I don't know if you guys are up to what I'm trying to do here, or if you've seen it in any of the videos, but I want to elevate other barbers in our industry right now. I want to give you guys a platform. I want to try to give you guys an opportunity to speak and to get your teaching and your tutorials out. And if you guys do a good enough job and we like what we see, there might be room for you in the future on the Gamma education team. So what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to get 3 of you guys to send me full-blown tutorials. Do a haircut, talk through the haircut, film it. You don't even got to edit it. If you don't know how to edit, I don't care. I will edit it. Just do your best to make sure it's in focus and have decent audio, and that's it, man. If you guys can do that, I got to stop at a gun store, matter of fact. I need a new holster. Lost my appendix holster. And I got a feeling this town I'm driving through right now probably has a nice gun store in it. Only thing is, we're getting pretty late here. Oh, shoot, my watch still thinks I'm cutting hair. But anyways, yeah, we're trying to get people to send. We're trying to get people to send those tutorials in. And then this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to pick somebody out of those 3, and we're going to give them $200 in either cash, prizes, or whatever you want. All right. So Williamsport Barber Supply, you can have anything you want that's outside of Gamma and Stylecraft. And if you want something from Gamma Stylecraft, you guys can use the $200 credit towards that. And we might even be able to go just a smidge more on that, get you guys something special if you choose to go that route. So out of the 3 tutorials, we're all going to vote together, man. This is going to be the fun part of this thing. This is going to be a community activity. You guys remember when we did we did that one challenge a while ago where I had you guys all send in videos and we reacted. Like if you had some kind of skill, some people rapped, some people sung, some people did. It was like Barber's Got a Talent. I forgot what we called it. But the beauty of this idea here, if I can get enough people to start sending me in these tutorials, I think we could all learn from each other. That's it, Neil. He said, reach one, teach one. God bless, bro. Appreciate that, man. And the fact that you're willing to assist barbers, let's go, let's get it. I just need some people to participate, man. You don't even got to be nobody special. If you want to critique, if you want to send me a photo, you guys can see my email address is down below. It's in my link tree. If you guys want to send me a photo of a cut, you want to get critique live on air, or I'll probably do that in a short. I've been wanting to do those again. So if you want that, go ahead and do that. And if you want to take the next step beyond that, if you think you can teach, or if you just feel like you have something to add to this, by all means, reach out to me. I'll help you get the footage over to me. I will edit you. I will edit it for you. I'll credit you. Only thing I ask is you guys don't put music in it. Don't put music in it because I'm going to cut these down to 10 minutes just for the sake of time. And I'll put in the heat. Hey, that's right, Ivy Mac. I forgot about that, dog. Ivy Mac was the win. Bro, you won so many things like back in the day. Ivy Mac was always on the proud, man. He won a bunch of stuff. And now he's got a good YouTube channel, man. He's doing his thing out here. He said it helped my confidence. I'm glad to hear that, yo. I forgot all about that you were the one who won. I remember thinking before, I might as well just send these directly to Ivy Mac whenever I was doing giveaways and stuff because it seemed like he would always win them. But yeah, man, Ivy, why don't you send me a tutorial? Let's do this one. Help me out here. That would mean I got two. I got one barber called Angel. He was actually a former student. He's willing to send one. I might even talk to Kenny at my shop, have him do one, and that will be our first three. Hopefully, we can build some momentum off of that. But I would like to do it for whoever I know. Like right now, I'm in a podunk town, but I know this, man. I'm probably driving by a guy right now who's a great barber, may not have a big social media presence. He may even have a gift for teaching. And that's the people I'm looking for. I don't care if you don't even got a YouTube channel. I don't care if you have no social media presence whatsoever. That means nothing to me. There's something that I've learned as I've helped build this education team. There's a big difference. And tap that thumbs up if you feeling what I'm about to say here, because I think some of you will. There's a big difference between educators and influencers. All right, and both have their place, but given the choice between the two, I would probably take the educator 9 times out of 10, because when you get right down to it, a lot of these educators like John Carlo and other people that we have on the team, when you sit in one of their classes, bro, you're gonna know the difference. Like when you deal with me, John Carlo, a couple of the other guys on our team, like you're gonna feel a difference. You're looking at people who have spent 10, 15 years teaching, experimenting with techniques and communication strategies that actually work and actually make a difference. Like we do have a formula. This is not us guessing or guesswork or anything like that. Like this is a real, you're going to leave with some things you probably never thought to do. You're going to have some new tips and techniques you're going to take back to the shop. And above all, we can really target some of the areas you struggle. And I guarantee you that's going to come out when you see the syllabus, when you see the way that we break everything down. You guys are going to see that a lot of thought, a lot of time, and a lot of effort has been put into this. He said, I swear it's the Mandela effect. I won 2 things, and I still use them. Do you really? What'd you win, Mac? I forget what it was. I do forget what it was. But that's the beauty of it, man, is we want to develop real educators. We have a real need for educators. People are going to need more of us than they realize. It's great to go and see influencers who inspire you and make you want to make you want to cut hair and things like that. So I'm not saying the influencers are bad. I'm not saying that all influencers can't educate. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, when you go to a class, trained educator, it, it should be an experience. And I told Gamma and Stylecraft, pretty sure I'm driving through a dead zone. Yo, tap a comment if because it looks like you said you were the first barber I followed. You and Rum Barber. It was mostly about reviews of products, so I moved away from. I mean, Rum Barbers, there were some good dudes. I don't know why they stopped posting. Weird stuff happens. Just drop a comment. Let me know if you can still hear me. So go to these places. Thing to do. I like working with intimate group. I love when I get a chance to have in my classroom. When I got like 10 people, I can really get. I can get real specific. See, when I'm an instructor, I did so for about 11 years. That's a whole nother level. Like anybody who's ever done something like that, cool, I'm glad to hear I come back. Anybody who's ever done something like that as a barber instructor knows that it's very difficult to keep people motivated day in and day out for a year straight. And anybody who looks up to me now for what I do now compared to what I did then, I just want to mention that back then, that was a lot more difficult. When I go to a class now, like tomorrow's class, man, everybody's going to be pumped. Everybody's going to be excited. I'm only with them for 3 hours, and that is different than when you got to be day in and day out the entertainer. You got to keep people going. That's a much more difficult thing. I'm driving by Live Oak Resort and Golf Course. It's a golf course with a golf course trailer park. Man, I could fit right in here, bro. This got white trash written all over it. So, Joe say the barber, he says, I'm downtown Austin, bro. Would love to meet you. Would love for you to pull up at the shop. You've helped me use new techniques for a faster fade in the world of hair. Yeah, bro, leave a comment on the actual video, not in the live. Leave a comment, like when we get off, leave a comment down below of how I can get a hold of you. And when I pull up to Austin, let me see what time I get in. I believe I fly in the night before. So if it's at all possible, I'll try to link up with you if it isn't too far. So, that's what we're trying to do. I don't know if y'all remember a while ago, I went to St. Augustine. I was actually driving all the way to New York from Florida. And I stopped at a bunch of shops and I did a bunch of giveaways. I was calling it Gamma Claus. It was right around like Christmas time. That was a lot of fun, man. I like pulling up in random barbershops and, seeing what's up with people, how they're working, what their shop looks like, everything like that. I think we all have a vision of how we want our shop to look, and when we see other shops, we can be inspired by oh man, that makes it a little bit easier. I like this station. I like the way he's got this set up. I like the tools he's using, like stuff like that, It'll always be a lifelong passion of mine. I know it. I remember when I went to hair school, my dad, he's from the old school. He's like, what are you, gay? Now, I went to cosmetology school. I was like, nah, Dad, what are you talking about, gay? I mean, look at this. I can cut hair. I don't got to be outside swinging a hammer like you. He was a construction worker in Buffalo, New York. That's a hard job, man. That's a hard job. He's up at 5 a.m. climbing up in the buildings with no AC, nothing. And, at the beginning, he didn't really understand what this was about. You got to realize I made this decision to start this journey when I was 15 years old. I did it through a vocational program in high school, during high school. So you got to make this decision early, if you wanted to take advantage of it. Now, I really didn't come completely out of left field because a lot of on the other side of my family, not my dad's side, a lot of them did hair. So, we had that going on. It's an A-Rod Fades. I'm a 16-year-old barber. Should I go to a barber school next year at 17 or do an apprenticeship? Hey, if an apprenticeship is a possibility, I would definitely do the apprenticeship. You know, if it's possible to do that, I would go. I would go and do that. Ivy Mack says, I just want to say it's awesome to see how much you've accomplished, Eddie. I stepped away from the industry, but I try my best to keep supporting your content. Always for the people and willing to help, man. I appreciate you, buddy. I do appreciate you. What are you doing now with yourself, man? And Chad, man, he jumps in there. He said, "Well, he said, safe travels, brother. I wish you guys were with me, man. I wish y'all could have came. The whole Uptown team came with me to CT Barber Expo, and you know, these things, you know, having the people you work with there, having people that just got your back, bro. That's awesome. You know, it's a good feeling. And you know, where I'm going, the team that I travel with a lot throughout the whole country, everybody that we work with, man, we all got our back. Everybody's got each other's back. And we got the ethos, man, the brand ethos from Johnny B going. Never be late, no excuses, always protect the team. That's what it is. Paige of Style said, Eddie gave me my first clipper. I'll be forever grateful. Hey, what up, Paige of Style? Good to see you, man. He's, you know, he's always been around. He's a long time. Everybody in this room, man, you guys are all long time subscribers, man. Everybody that I see dropping comments for the most part, a lot of you guys been rocking with me for like probably over 5 years, maybe even longer, some of you guys. And for that, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful, man, because without you guys supporting the content, dropping comments, smashing the thumbs up from time to time, like without you guys doing that, no one could have ever noticed me. You know, I could have worked as hard as I wanted, but if I didn't have people like you guys supporting me, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. And you know, when you go to the shows and you see a lot of people having some success in their life, maybe they're working on stages, maybe they're working with brands, maybe they're doing their thing. What you see is the tip of the iceberg. You don't see all the hard work that went on to build that under the surface. I mean, there's been a lot of times where I know everybody on these stages and everybody who's met with some success. A lot of people went through some dark days, some dark times. A lot of people wanted to quit. A lot of people had situations that just didn't seem like, you know, it didn't seem like it was working out. And somehow or another, they persevered. So whatever it is you're going through, whatever your struggle is behind closed doors, you know, just know, man, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I filed for bankruptcy. I had all kinds of legal issues. At one time in my life, it really felt like there was nowhere to turn at one point. And you know, as hard as you work on a lot of these videos, and sometimes it can feel like you're running in place, man. But at the end of the day, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I kept pushing, that I kept grinding, and you know, who knows what the future holds. But I can't help but think of that Eminem song, man. Every time I hit the ceiling, every time I think I hit the ceiling, it's like you find a way to get even higher. You find a way to go even further. And you know, that's the beauty of life, man. It wouldn't be fun if every day was sunny, if there wasn't rain, you know. So that's the thing, man. And when you get to a certain level, too, the other part of it is being responsible with it and making sure that you do the things that you commit to. That's why that ethos is so important. Like, never be late, no excuses. You know, I don't ever want to, you know, even when we've had issues with the education team I've built, when there's been things that have went wrong, I'm the first one to call them and say, you know what, this is my fault. I should have made it more clear. I should have called them. There's almost always something that I feel like I could do better. And, you know, I think that just comes from, you know, I feel fortunate to be where I am. I feel fortunate to be where I am. You know what I mean? So that's what it really feels like. You know, I want to make sure that I hold up my end of the deal when I have people trusting me to do certain things. So that's what it is, man. Alan to Coleman's connection coming soon. That's right. That's right, man. We got a couple good bright spots with the Bills, but I don't know, man. The Bills seem like they got a little bit of rebuilding to do, but all in all, I can't complain. I gotta hope that we're gonna be able to pull this together. But you know what, man? You're never quite out of it. When you got Josh Allen, you ain't never out of it. It don't matter who's got everybody else. That's all I'm saying. So I look at some of these other teams, man. The Houston Texans, bro, that's kind of a scary team to me right now. Figure Derrick Henry, C.J. Stroud. I mean, they got stacked up. Them boys went and got fat during the offseason here. So I hope I can't wait for football to come back, by the way, man. I'm thinking about it already, and I know we got a little ways to go before we're back in the clear with it. You know what's funny though, Paige, is like when I'm traveling around the country, almost everywhere I go, I see Bills fans. I see the little I see the little Bills emblems on cars, or I see shops that got a Bills symbol in the front. Like, it's nice to know that we got family all around this place, man. We got family all around this whole country. And if you've never been to a Bills tailgate, uh, if you ever been there, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Yeah, it said Tank Dell just got that big contract. Yeah, that's what's up, man. We everywhere, baby. We everywhere. It's funny, man. At CT Barber Expo, somebody came up to me and we were talking our shit, man. We was out here talking all about the Bills. It was kind of funny, man. People were walking by. We're talking about the Bills. We're supposed to be talking about hair. Could never trust a Bills fan to not go off on a tangent about that. But I gotta say, man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. The class starts at noon. I believe it's noon, and it runs till 3. So from noon to 3, I'll be doing that. Then we do our pre-show meeting. We'll get everybody on the team focused on what it is we're trying to do tomorrow, the following day, how we're going to work, how we're going to operate. And everybody's got their marching orders. And I got to say, as far as my team goes, I think CT Barber Expo, for us personally, and as much as I've seen with Stylecraft and with Gamma, our team, that was real teamwork that took place there. I mean, I felt everybody just killed it, man. Victorino did his thing. If you never seen Victorino on stage, bro, you never seen, you'll be blown away. This guy is the ultimate showman. He will get the crowd pumping. If you've never seen Taylor Cuts, cutting hair, man, this dude is just pure talent. Great dude. And, everybody, 360 G Weezy, Chad Volker's in the house too. 81 people kicking it with me in this live on the drive up to Orlando. And, I just think it's dope, man. Where y'all tapping in from? It's an awful lot of you guys in the house. All right, let me ask you guys this question here. All right. When was the last time, it doesn't even got to be barber related, when was the last time that you intentionally pushed yourself out of your comfort zone? And, I asked that question to actually a lot of times in these lives because I'm just curious, the last time you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, was that when you decided to go out to eat instead of eating in the house? Or was it, you stepped up, you did something big, maybe it was a workout, maybe it was, some personal goal that you achieved? Because at the end of the day, I think it'd be so easy for us to get complacent in our lives, just wake up, do the same thing day in and day out. And, I grew up broke. I grew up broke. I know a lot of people say it, but we really didn't have money. I wore sweatpants to school in high school because we didn't really have nothing else. I had like a pair of jeans and a sweatpants. I wore army fatigues that my grandfather brought back from the military because he was in the military. So I look at all that. I think back on those experiences and being deprived of all the things that I ever wanted. That was a strong motivator for me. That was okay, if I fail, I can wind up back here again. I can't fail. And that's what it is, man. He said, January, when I moved from Orlando to Omaha, Nebraska. Really? To go to nursing school after my mom died, man. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your mom, man. I appreciate you sharing. And, it can be a really scary thing to move everything you've ever known, to jump and lift and go to a different career. Man, I don't know where I am right now. This is like a cool little town here. I feel like I'm driving through those little towns in the middle of nowhere. This town could be in Omaha, Nebraska right now, minus the extreme heat that we're dealing with. And I don't even see I don't even see where people really live. We're just on like a main drag over here. Y'all check it out. You know you in the country. I mean, you got a nondescript Anna's Breakfast, Magnolia Street. We out here. Some kind of factory or something. You know you got the bank. It'd be places like that Anna's that had like really good food. You know, they don't even have like a sign out front. You got to go find it. line out the door. Jose says, I pushed myself literally yesterday, man. I went around my barbershop. I went around town, started handing out business cards to anybody that I saw that needed a clean fade. Well, let me tell you something, man. That's something that not a lot of people are willing to do anymore. Everybody thinks that they're just going to sit back and make posts on social media. And that I actually have a short about to release about something similar to this. But basically what I was saying was just try and utilize your downtime. You know, everybody's got downtime in the shop. Oh, they got a bail bondsman. That's good to know, man. Get in trouble around here. You know, I get bonded out. But yeah, man, everybody runs into that. He said a pop cut. Yeah, actually, I think I am near a pop cut, to be honest. I'm not even sure. I'm 103 miles away from where I'm going in Orlando. And about an hour and 55 out. Maybe sooner or later, I might wind up stopping for some food over here. This seems like a pretty good place. I let that go for a little bit longer. But not everybody wants to go out and hand out business cards. And a lot of people are mishandling their downtime. You know, if you're just sitting there playing on your phone and you're not really doing anything constructive, like this is how I escaped the factory, y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. Yo, drop it in the comments, man. When's the last time you push yourself out of your comfort zone? Share it with everybody. You never know who you might be talking to. You might be talking to somebody who really could use some motivation. But when we're not using our downtime wisely, there are so many things that you can do. And this is exactly how I escaped the factory. I was in the factory job. Man, that gun store is closed. I wanted to go. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to find a gun store. I need a new holster. It'll have to wait, I guess. But when I was in the factory, even when I had downtime in the factory, what I would do is I would pull out a notebook. It would look like I was working, but I was not working. I was dreaming. I was scheming. I was writing things down. I was writing video ideas down, even though I wasn't posting at that time. I was really trying to escape. And I made sort of like a roadmap every day, more research. Like, what would it cost for me to get this? What would it cost for me to get my own shop? Like, how would I find people? Like, I went through each one of those and I found solutions to everything. And I would just sit there and rack my brain. Hold up, I gotta set y'all down for a second. I'd just sit there, rack my brain. Sorry, y'all, the headphones were driving me nuts. And I would sit there and rack my brain about ways that I could escape. How could I get out of here? And that was really me just utilizing my downtime in a really positive way for myself. So when you get right down to it, man, if you guys are sitting around the shop, you're not doing nothing, he said, then you're not in a Popka. A Popka is 20 minutes. Okay, yeah. I'm definitely not 20. I wish I was 20 minutes away. But yeah, that's the thing, man. So getting out and pushing yourself to hand out cards, yo, that can be really nerve-wracking, man, because nobody wants to be a salesman. And the other thing about when you hand out a business card as a barber, it sort of subtly hints that that person needs a haircut. And people could even take offense to that. You know, so there's a way that you can go about that. And, you know, this is, I would say this to the young kids that be asking me like, hey, man, if I like a girl, how do I go up to them and talk to them? Like, you handing out a card sometimes is equivalent to you saying, you see a girl you like, you're like, hey, you want to sleep together? Like, it's that forward, right? Whereas if you could beat around the bush a little bit
talk a little bit about some other things and do what I was. Spam call. Do I still got audio? Somebody let me know. Sometimes when a phone call comes in, the audio drops. 17 miles before we make the next right. Drop it in the comments. We still got audio? Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a way that you can do a quality handout when you hand out cards. And that could be as simple as you see somebody with a Bills shirt, you talk about the Bills a little bit, you show that you guys have some of the same interests, and on the end of the conversation, hey, by the way, you know, I'm a barber, I'm right here down the road. I'd be happy to cut your hair, man, and we can continue this conversation. You know, there's ways to do things that are a little less forward. And it's just like when you approach a woman that you like. You're not going to run right up to them and be like, hey, you want to get married and have kids? Like, that's probably not going to work. That's probably not going to work. But there's going to be a certain amount of beating around the bush. And then another way you can do it is by just showing up in your community. Showing up at a place regularly. Like for me, it was the golf range. I'd go to the golf range after work. I would meet with people. I would talk with people. I would never talk about the fact I was a barber in the beginning. You know? Just get to be friendly with people. Say hello to everybody. You know, shake hands when it's warranted, and just, you know, introduce yourself and remember everybody's names. Write them down if you have to. And then you mention, you know, you got to play the long game sometimes. And then you mention, hey, you know, I'm a barber right here. If you go to church, perfect place to get a lot of clients. I've seen a lot of barbers get a lot of people out of churches and, you know, get a lot of good quality people from doing that as well. So I think it's about also building some familiarity in your area so that you can make sure that you get a quality handout. That way you're not just handing somebody a card that they're throwing in the garbage, which that's never good. You know what I mean? That pisses you off. You know, I remember printing flyers, going out, spending my money for $5 haircut, walking around the neighborhood there and passing them out. I remember passing them to one guy. He took it, seemed nice enough, and then this fool threw it on the ground in front of me. Boy, that pissed me off, man. I was hurt. And I let him know it too. And I was basically like, bro, if you didn't want to take it, you didn't have to take it. And especially you didn't have to litter on the ground, man. I went back, I picked it up from him and I walked away. But at the end of the day, just randomly handing things out to people, you know, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always yield. So, you know, it's just the way things go. But at the end of the day, man, I think this business, more than anything, it really requires you to be mentally fit, mentally tough. Because there's a lot of ways that we could talk ourselves down. We could talk negatively to ourselves. We could say, I must not be good enough at this. I just, you know, there's other people who are more successful. I'll never accomplish what they did. I'll never be able to cut hair like that. I'll never be on that stage. I'll never do those things. It could be so easy because that's the easy way out. Because if you start doing that, you could be negative, and that gives you the excuse not to go forward. That gives you all the excuse you need to quit. And in this business, it's not about today. It's about the long run. It's about the long run, y'all. You got to keep pushing. And, you know, today, maybe you don't get anything out of it. For instance, you go to church today. Maybe it's the first time ever going to church. I'm not even talking about religion. I'm just talking about networking. And you don't get any customers out of your first visit. You didn't tell nobody. You didn't do nothing. And are you surprised that nothing happened? You can't be like that. You got to realize that you went to church today and you're going to start going weekly. And now in about 4 or 5 weeks, you're starting to meet people. You're starting to see their faces regularly. Now you have an opportunity to talk to them. Now you have an opportunity to actually hand out a card and actually see it go somewhere. So it's like Johnny Appleseed, man. Johnny Appleseed, more seeds, more apples. I don't know if he was a real person, if he really walked around planting apple seeds, but if he did that, eventually he had a lot of apples. So I think it's just so important that we stay mentally tough and mentally convinced that we are good at this, that we can learn the things that we need to learn to improve. That today, maybe it wasn't your day, but you never know what the future holds tomorrow. It can be a big step, jumping off and becoming a barber, because now you're working for yourself. Now there is no safety net. If you don't cut hair today, if you don't put no hair on the floor, you go home with no money. Maybe your wife isn't supportive of you, or your girlfriend, and she says, why don't you go get a real job? You know, all of these things can get into our psyche, man. Men are supposed to be the provider of the relationship, and when they're not, that can get into the psyche. So when you get right down to it, you have got to be real careful. You got to be real careful about how you talk to yourself and how you believe in yourself. And I think that's like 90% of almost anything in life. You go into a job interview and you say, hey, I'd really like this job, but I'm not sure I'm a good fit. I'm not really good at doing this job yet. Of course you're not. You haven't even started. Yeah, but you know, I'm not really a people person. Well, you could learn. And you know, this is not going to be a job that you'll get, right? When you go in there with all that negativity, don't be surprised if you leave with a negative result. But when you go in there with a can-do, no sir, I've never done that, but I'll learn. I'm a quick learner. I can figure that out. I've done something similar. When you go in there with that can-do attitude, I would take a student like that 100 times out of 100 versus a student who comes in and acts like they know everything and don't know shit. I remember this one student that was just like that. If y'all want me to tell the story, I will. We got time. I got an hour and 45 before I even get where I'm going. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know. If you want me to tell that story, I will. Right now, Aiden Ramirez, he says, which trimmer and clipper? Currently right now, I'm rocking that Rebel combo. I got a bunch of stuff in this bag behind me that I'm taking with me to the show. I think the metal Instinct clipper is impossible to beat. It's really a wonderful clipper to work with, but the one that I'm really rocking with the most, the one that I'm picking up all the time, I'm loving that Rebel. If you guys haven't seen it in that previous video, let me know. Let me know. So I forgot. Y'all remind me where I was at. I was going somewhere. Oh yeah. I was talking about the student who didn't know nothing. This guy comes in. First, he tells me, first day of school, he tells me, yeah, I've been cutting hair for a long time. I just need the license. I'm not really here for nothing else. Now, I don't know him, and I don't really, you know, some people do come to school. Some people do have a lot of skill when they get to school. I've had quite a few students that really knew their thing. I mean, God, I remember this one student, Lewis. If you guys ever seen his cuts, he's called the Barber Louie. But man, when he came to school, I don't even think it was fair. I think I learned more from him than he learned from me. But you know what was cool about Lewis is he was quiet. He was like a sponge, and he wasn't trying to tell you he knew all this stuff. Like he led by example. He showed what he was capable of, and I could trust that he could teach the class every bit as good as I could. I could trust that he could execute any haircut without any trouble walking in. And you know, at the end of the day, this guy, the other guy, Tony, didn't know nothing, man. He comes in acting like he knew everything. He goes upstairs and convinces one of the other workers to get a haircut, and he's downstairs just massacring his hair. I didn't even know it. I was in the other room. And I can't even tell you the amount of nonsense that went on with that kid, but eventually he quit, which was probably honestly a good thing for the general safety of the public. He said, which light is better? If you're asking for like lights to take photos or lights to work with, because I got lights for days, man. Lighting is probably the most important thing, one of the most important things in your shop to consider, because when you get to a level like where I'm at, where most of my haircuts are pretty easy, I can run through, I can do anything. I feel a ton of confidence with everything I'm doing. The only thing that would cause me to not do a good haircut is if I can't see what I'm doing. So when I can't see what I'm doing, I can't fix it, right? So I usually work with panel lights. A lot of guys like ring lights. I don't, because I think they're just so big that, you know, they take up a lot of space. But you know, you gotta have some kind of supplemental lighting. I think that's kind of where we're at this point. And you know, let's face it, man. Years ago, we were not cutting hair like this. You know, I've been cutting hair since 2003. People would walk in and ask for like maybe a number 1 on the back and sides. On the back and sides. You didn't have as many skin fades. Skin fades were not a constant requested thing. So you were able to get away with not having great lighting. You were able to get away with not having certain things. Like, we didn't have electric shavers. We used razors. We didn't have a half guard because it didn't exist. There was no 1.5 guard. I mean, there was a lot of things to put you at a disadvantage when I first started cutting hair. And I say, man, it could not be easier now with all the tools we have at this point in this day and age. We're lucky. We're lucky. I mean, the technology is just starting to catch up to what we need. Y'all look at all these cows, man. Got a million cows out here. I don't know if y'all know this, but I believe Florida is the capital state of cattle. I think we're the biggest cattle state in the country. Read that somewhere. You would think it would be Texas, but I don't know. They say it's Florida. I tell you what, I've driven out of Florida many times, and you're gonna see a lot of cows. Driving by these cows is making me hungry. So hopefully I've inspired you with some of the conversation, man. I think if we recap, let's start using our downtime wisely. Let's start trying to push ourselves out of our comfort zone a little bit more. Let's build up the guy who's next to you, man. Support each other. Let's not be late. Let's not have no excuses. And when things are not going right, understand, man, that tomorrow's another day and it'll go better. And the only person in this life that you can blame is that guy that you see in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, that's the person that you can blame for these things going wrong. And the sooner you do that, you take that personal accountability, the better off you'll be. Because at the end of the day, if you sit around waiting for everything else in your life to line up, and everything else is you're basically saying that Jesus, there's a dog in the middle of the road, just eating something. That is bizarre. That's not a safe place for a dog. Jeez. But basically, you're saying that your success is dependent on the rest of the world lining up just perfectly for you. And that's not the case. Your success should be dependent on you. You're in control. You're in control of your own destiny. And the moment you start to take that personal responsibility, that's the first step. That's the first step towards actually achieving something and getting to that place in your life that you always wanted to go to. And it could be really with anything. It could really be with anything. So if you get an opportunity to come out to the show, come out to the booth, come say what's up, come kick it with me, and come see us at the class if you can. If it's not this show, I'm always willing to link up with you guys, take a picture, chop it up with you, talk with you. I'm in the business of trying to make people feel good. I'm in the business of trying to build people up. And you know what? 10, 15 years ago, when I would go to a show, it felt like people were competing with one another more so than trying to network and help one another. And I gotta say, I don't know what it is, if it's Gary Vee or other motivating, speakers or whatever. Something's in the water, man. Everybody's being so amicable, so nice, and building each other up. That's been my experience at most of these shows. It's been a really good and positive thing. So if you think when you sit back, you're like, I don't really want to go to the shows, everybody else is just all, up there, and I'm just not, like, don't believe that. Don't talk yourself out of that. Don't make excuses. Mike says, can I get a free clipper? Well, you could just try to win that competition if you want. There is a competition going on right now, and the Rebel Flex combo, it's called the Super Set. That is on the chopping block. You guys can go and check out that video. I don't really feel like explaining that. I'm already blowing out my voice, which always happens at a show, and I'm not even at the show yet. So in a very selfish way, I'm gonna have to preserve my voice here, and I'm gonna let y'all go. So I do appreciate you, all of you guys, for rocking out with me and hanging out with me this long, kicking it while I've been driving. I think we've been live for over an hour, man. So shout out to you guys. You guys are a real one. Smash that thumbs up on the way out. Drop a comment on this video. I will be going live during the show, and we got a lot of content. We got a lot of content coming down the pipe. And I'm gonna try to start letting things go a little bit quicker. Maybe it don't gotta be so perfect. So with that being said, this is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I do appreciate all of you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.